Good morning and welcome to Conversations on the Block. I'm your host, Pat Robinson. Tri-State, there are people whose work fits neatly into a title. And then there are people whose work keeps expanding because the needs around them keeps changing. My guest today, Kevin Livingston, is the founder of 100 Suits and an entrepreneur who has worked and moved across some of the most complicated spaces in New York City, from crisis management, mentoring men at Rikers Island, to supporting older adults, creating healing spaces and for women and men, and building opportunities for people who are trying to find their footing again. But what makes Kevin so interesting to me is that he hasn't allowed himself to be defined by one lane. Today, his work is also moving deeper into arts and culture and community gathering. He hosts monthly poetry experiences, has created women's and men's healing circles, and has officially entered the live entertainment space with a concert series that will bring acclaimed R&B artist Dwele to the Jamaica Performing Arts Center on August 4th, 2026. Listen, at first glance, mentoring at Rikers, crisis intervention, healing circles, poetry, and R&B concert might sound like completely different worlds, but maybe they're not. Maybe they're all connected to the same idea that people need places where they can be seen, where they can exhale, and where they can rebuild, and sometimes where they can simply experience joy. So today, I want to talk about the evolution of Kevin Livingston, the entrepreneur, the community builder, the businessman, and the man behind all of these ideas, and what he has learned from being close enough to this community to recognize the needs of our people. Welcome to the show, Kevin.
Thank you so much, Pat. Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
Wonderful. We're so excited to talk about all of these things. So listen, for people who may not know the name of 100 Suits, which I probably would find that a little odd, tell us about the full scope of who Kevin Livingston is today.
Oh, man. I am a dreamer. I believe that I could throw a dart in the wall and it's going to stick. I know that art saves lives, right? And so I just want to deep dive more into it, but it doesn't, I'm a part of that 1% that didn't listen to the 99% that try to put us into a box.
I love that.
Right
and you've been doing this for years,
yeah.
Right? So for the Tri-State, 100 Suits started out. I want you to tell a little bit of that story, how you started out and where you are today. It's amazing.
Yeah, no, 100 Suits started about 2 blocks from here.
Wow.
Down in Jamaica, Queens. We was giving out suits. I would set up a suit rack right on Parsons, right by Popeyes, and give out suits to those passing by to help them with workforce development back in 2011. Fast forward into today, we are not only doing art therapy and mentoring inside of Rikers Island, but we're also a part of the Cure Violence model, which we're great partners with. We also have a big onus in workforce development. We believe that those who are going back into the workforce not only need business attire, but also the mental health space. We help with our seniors. We do monthly memory testing in terms of like music trivia, which jogged the memory of my father when he was here. Shout out to Henry Clayton. I know how important that was for him to remember to keep his cognitive skills in place. And just a whole bunch of things in the DOE. And I can't do it alone. It's me and my team.
Yeah. But you've been doing this for a long span of years. I want to kind of talk about, because there's this special work that you've been doing for a really long time in Rikers Island. That's a sensitive place, and you've been committed to that for many years, not only from mentoring, but you do holidays, like you make sure that you're present in that space. Tell the Tri-State what that work is like when you get in there and you're spending time with these young individuals, and what's going on behind there that we need to know.
So one thing that I would tell you is that first, when you walk into a housing unit, they're going to know if you're there for a check. And they're going to know if you're there to be honest and to be there for your spirit. And so I have, God willing, make 11 years in Rikers Island.
Wow.
Actually came into Rikers Island performing poetry inside of Rosie's. That's how I started in Rikers Island. Then we started doing our own thing. Shout out to Green Earth Poets Cafe who originally brought me in. And we're in 11 years. And then 9 of those 11 years, we have done Thanksgiving on Rikers Island. Every Thanksgiving morning, we're bringing in meals to the housing units who don't even know we're coming. And we're spending time with them on Thanksgiving Day. Yeah. 9 years out of those 11, we've been doing Thanksgiving on Rikers Island.
Yeah. And how important is that? So for the Tri-State to understand that, just that camaraderie and just that presence for those who are incarcerated, I'm sure it means a lot.
Absolutely. It's about relationships. I'm not big on holding up posters and condemning gun violence. I don't believe. I just is not that. My spirit doesn't float to that. My spirit floats to being preventive in the community, and building relationships while they're incarcerated, teaching them something while they're incarcerated, and when they come home, not only we're not sending them to a resource, we are the resource. And so
hold on. That's a moment, Tri-State. We're not going past that. This is a moment. We are not. Say that again.
We're not sending them to the resource. We are the resource.
We are the resource, right? And that's community building, and that's the way that we do that. But there's also another piece of this, because I want to make sure that the Tri-State understands, like, you are not, an ironclad individual. When you go into these spaces, you're taking on all of this, right? From an empathetic standpoint, your heart is connected to it. You're walking out with that on your spirit, which then weighs in on you and your spirit, because you don't just walk out and it's over. You carry that stuff with you.
100%. Back in October, I was 252 pounds. I'm 188 now. 183, excuse me. Right? That weight was from people who I ingested their energy.
Wow.
Right? You have to protect your mental health. And if anybody really knows my story, they know that you would follow my trajectory, because I always talked about mental health.
That's right.
I always talked about prioritizing your peace. I was talking to myself.
Wow. Come on, Tri-State.
I was talking to myself. And so at that time, I had to go and make some lifestyle changes, which I have. And I was waking up choking, right?
Wow.
Literally severe sleep apnea.
Wow.
Right? A lot of people didn't know that, right? Blood pressure through the roof. But I had to make sure that I prioritized myself. So when you say coming out of those jails, you're taking on people's energy, yes, you're 100%.
Yeah.
I have to take a moment for myself and make sure I'm prioritizing my peace, because I can't be good to nobody if I ain't good to myself.
Yeah, and that's something that our parents foundationally taught us when we were younger.
100%.
And so, that's one portion of it, like dealing with those people. And I'm sure you've built relationships with those individuals that are incarcerated, and you're giving hope to them
100%,
and changing their mind, and maybe giving them some inspiration that things are going to be okay. Those are the stories we don't hear about. So can you share?
I'll share something that happened this morning. I was on the phone with one of the young men, mothers who's incarcerated. He historically has had drug issues and violence in the community, citywide. And so he was on the phone with his mom, and he was telling her, "Mom, I'm so excited. We were able to get his housing unit to participate in a barbecue that was that we helped sponsor with the food. And I went to the housing unit, told them to get dressed. We're going. And when they got down there, we broke bread and spent time with them. I gave him some resources so when he comes home. And so when I spoke to his mother today, he said that, Mom, I'm excited. I was able to go, and I spoke with Kevin. I'm very excited. And she said, for the very first time, he said, I am looking positive to my life right now. And that shifted my spirit, because it told me I'm doing something. Yeah. I ain't in no contract.
Right.
I ain't in no contract.
Right.
I made a commitment to that building that I will be there every day, and I have not lost 1 week of not showing up.
Let me tell you something. The lives that you're impacting and changing, and just to hear a story like that, the kind of work, me and you are similar. Like, we like doing this work that really touches the soul and really changes people's lives. But I want to be clear that when you walk out of these spaces, you're carrying all of this, and there are thousands of people who have come to know you, and when you come around, there's an expectation that you're bringing positive energy, that you're going to be the solution. And I know that can be a lot.
Absolutely.
I know that can be a lot, right?
Absolutely. I have no problem saying at some points I have a hard time waking up in the morning.
Yeah.
Right on. But I know that if I don't move, nothing moves. And I have
Hold on. See, because when I get those moments, say it again.
I mean, I know if I don't wake up in the morning, if I don't move, nothing moves. And so I have to make sure that I'm prepped mentally and spiritually to do the work that God is placing me to do. Because this ain't Kevin. This is God.
Thank you. Thank you for that acknowledgement. No, we really appreciate that. Now I want to talk about, and eventually we're going to get to arts and culture in this exciting program. But then you created, let's talk about the seniors first, who you've always advocated for. And I remember it through COVID, you were out there delivering food to every, it's evidential. You can, if you don't know, you can Google this and see it. But then you took a further step with the seniors, right? And you said, let's celebrate them. And you created proms for the seniors, which I thought was amazing.
Yeah.
Tell the Tri-State about that idea.
Well, shout out to Rochdale Village for being a partner. I always wanted to celebrate our seniors. That drive came from my dad, just kind of taking care of my father. And when he passed away, the more I poured into the seniors was my mental health therapy. So my father loved cutting hair. I loved sitting down with him and playing Teddy Pendergrass music. And so that's what I started doing. And that dwarfed into the music therapy. That dwarfed into the poetry shows we do for the seniors. And then I said, let's do a senior prom. We have to give them their flowers. Now, there are a lot of seniors that are homebound that don't get these flowers. And I would say that the last senior prom that we did, we have over 300 people.
That's amazing.
300 seniors, and the prom king was 103 years old.
Come on. And they probably are so excited about this. They get to dress up, they get to come out.
We provide suits, dresses, the men get haircuts. The ladies, shout out to Connective Strategies for sponsoring the makeup and the food, helping us with the food, and it's an experience, and they have a good time.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Better than me.
I wanted to get a ticket. I was like, I want to hang out with them and come. But just the fact that you're considering the elders in this space, that to me, like, that is like the creme de la creme of how we serve our community, because a lot of our elders are isolated and don't have an opportunity, and sometimes just often forgotten about.
Yeah.
So that's another amazing thing, Tri-State, that he does. Now I want to move into, because then you created these opportunities for these women healing circles and men's healing circles. Let's start with the women's healing circle.
So shout out to the visionary Serena Titus for creating, because I support it, but Serena created, and we partnered together to make sure that this is a space for women. Serena started with 6 women coming in, and now it's a community of close to 50 to 60 women that meet every other week.
Yeah.
And they build, they just had a barbecue with a ton of women. They all got dressed up, and it's such a support. And I love to see people who have their own vision that I can support and help them push their vision.
Yeah, yeah.
We started the men's circle. Brother James Farr taking lead on that. And then we have brothers that came in. We partnered with the Nation of Islam. And we just build.
I love that.
Right? No judgment. And we ain't got to talk about everything negative.
Right. That's right.
We can encourage each other. Black man, I love you. That's
right.
it.
That's right.
And we can put a period on that sentence.
I love that. I love that. And if you're just joining, you're listening to Pat Robinson Conversations on the Block, and we are talking to the founder of 100 Suits, Kevin Livingston. So just in thinking about community, there are all of these amazing things that are happening in our communities. We see the JFK redevelopment, the Resorts World expansion, all of these, FIFA, all of these things. Then there's still that public violence thing that we are dealing with and still have dealt with over the last several months, where a lot of our sweet babies were gunned down. What is your purview on how we're countering to address this problem?
Well, under my purview, and just, shout out to the other Cure Violence sites that are doing the work. You know who you are, and I appreciate everything you do, especially the frontline staff. But we have to tackle violence not just by typical responses. We have to tackle violence through economic, through mental health, through arts and culture.
Yep.
Art saves lives. We have to tackle violence by building up the family that wraps around that young person and that person. Young people are the only ones that are being shot, right? There are people who are actually 25 and older that are actually pulling triggers, right? And so we put such an onus on 14 to 24.
Right.
God forbid they turn 25. And so I am happy to be a part of the New York City Crisis Management System. Yeah. I'm also happy to serve on Mayor Mandani's community safety team.
That's excellent.
Right? To make sure that we have different means and ways to combat gun violence.
Yeah. And I appreciate you saying that. And so now I'm going to pull into the arts and culture piece of this. Because at some point in your life, I don't know what age it was, you was in your mirror practicing poetry or trying to rap or something. I want you to tell us how you began this poetry thing, which I found out just a few years ago. I'm like, wait a minute, that's a hidden talent. But it's live and vibrant now and moving across. So tell us about how that started.
2 words, Love Jones.
Is that really how it started?
Yeah. I saw that movie. I don't know, changed my
Wow.
life. I was Darius Lovehall for about 10 years. That movie changed my whole perspective. I remember going seeing it at the Green Acres movie theater, and it just opened my eyes. Right. And then shout out to the Sugar Shack in Harlem and places that gave me opportunity to get on the microphone and express myself.
Yeah. And that would, to this day, I think has become, that's a form of self-therapy, right?
It is.
Right? And so you've been doing this for a lot of years, and then you turned this into a curated event, which has such a large response from the community. Like, your poetry events are like filled to the brim.
Yes.
And I'm like, man, we don't get to see this often.
Yes.
Talk about those events.
And first, shout out to Rochdale Village for being a great partner with this here, and all of our elected officials who are going to be partnering in this upcoming season. We curated something that is for the grown and sexy. We so often hear that word, but actually don't see the physical ramifications of grown and sexy, right? And so it's a space for 40 and older, right, who love art. It's dimly lit, and we get top talent from across the city to come out. And so we're going into year number 4. Every show we average about 115 to 120 people.
That's amazing.
Every single show. So we run our shows from October through June, and I'm super excited to bring it back. And it's a space where people have fun. It's unadulterated. It's uncensored. You say what you want and have a good time.
Yeah.
And it's just been so popular, and I'm so excited to continue my heart and my love, which is poetry.
Yeah. And so Tri-State, you see what I mean about not one lane, right? Everything is intertwining in self-expression, self-therapy, but then it's going into this. So technically, you have entered the live entertainment space.
Yeah.
When you realized that, how did you feel? Because that's what's happening.
I felt amazing. To be honest with you, I just wanted to bring city winery experience to Queens. I got tired of going out of my community and spending money.
Come on.
And looking good.
Come on.
Like, that's just tired of, and I'm a hard bottom dresser. So, I wanted to go somewhere locally that we can have national talent to come, and we can have a real good time. Have a great cocktail, bring your lady, atmosphere, the music, all that together. And we didn't have that. And so that's how this whole thing started. And, I've done, small concerts, but to the level of Dwelle and who we plan on bringing again, no. Yeah. But I'm glad this is taking off.
Yeah, that's great. And so let's talk about what's happening on August 4th, which is completely sold out. I'm sorry, Tri-State, but listen, if you know somebody that knows somebody, maybe you can get a ticket. But on August 4th at Jamaica Performing Arts Center, we have the R&B superstar Dwelle coming to Queens, New York. Tell us how that all morphed into.
So it's August 6th.
August 6th.
No worries. Thank you. So August 6th. And shout out to my brother Chip Fu, because if it wasn't for Chip Fu, I wouldn't have booked Dwelle. So how this whole thing came about, I'm a big fan of Dwelle. Like, that's it, period. And I said I wanted to bring him to Queens, and I reached out to his agent. His agent texted me back. We've been going back and forth. And then he sent me the contract, and then I tapped in with Chip Fu, who knew everybody. And he gave me the green light that it was valid.
Okay, right.
And then once he did it, we got the ball rolling. And that's how that whole thing came about.
And automatically sold out.
Automatically. I want to talk about those that allowed that to happen.
Let's do that.
Right? So it's very important that we give kudos to our presenting sponsor, which is Resorts World.
Yeah.
Thank you to the team over there that really saw the vision of what I'm looking to do in Southeast Queens.
Yeah.
And allowing us, because through their sponsorship, they allowed us, and I'm going to talk about the end, to award this back to community. Number 2, StubHub. StubHub has sponsored, and they help. It's so funny. You never know who's watching you while you're working. Right. Sometimes your names rings bells and doors that you even know that was open. And so they were watching what I was doing.
Really?
And so when an opportunity came for StubHub to come on board, it was natural. And so I want to give a shout out to Amelia Adams and Danique Miller.
So hold on. StubHub approached you.
No, they didn't approach me.
Okay.
They knew what I was doing.
They knew what you were
doing.
Okay.
Mediums that work with them. And they were so overwhelmingly ready to come on board and
Yeah.
help. And they have some programs that they're running. It's a $100,000 giveaway ticket where they're giving it to organizations to attend multiple events, Knicks games, the World Cup, and all this other stuff, right? This is sponsors, right? And then Raising Cane never saw the vision. Through these three entities, Raising Cane, StubHub, and Resorts World, we're able to gift back 300 tickets to community.
That's amazing.
With an onus on Divine Nines. Now, some people may say Divine Nine. Listen, I love what our Divine Nines are doing. The scholarship programs that kids are going through, right? The debutante that these young ladies are going through. And so we're able to gift back over 300 tickets back to Southeast Queens.
I love that.
And I feel so excited, and the tickets went quick.
Yeah, I would imagine.
Yes.
I mean, I'm being honest, we don't necessarily get that kind of national R&B high scale talent. Now, the only problem with this is that once you execute this, people are going to want it again.
Oh, 100%.
So I know your mind is already kind of moving.
100%,
right?
100%. Yes,
right?
100%.
That's awesome. So I want to talk about, because you've also done a lot of work in speaking in national stages. You've been in, Sharpton. You've been everywhere, and speaking is, when you speak, you have to come to the microphone, you have to discern energies, but you also want to make sure that you get your message out.
Yes, ma'am.
Tell us about the art of speaking and why the art of communication and voice is so important.
It's passion creates emotion, emotion creates energy. And I'm a firm believer of speaking from my stomach. Yeah. If I'm into something, you're going to feel it by the way I speak, right? And I really believe in that. And I learned that when I was in high school, when I got before I left high school, I played second in New York City in impromptu speaking.
Nice.
Basically, give me something to talk about, I'm going to talk your ear off. That's exactly what happened. But I thank God for this gift.
Yeah. So, and I mean, you've accomplished a lot and you're still going. So I like to say, like, when people say Black history, you're creating it, right? When you think about legacy and you think about your children and grandchildren, what do you think about when you think about the word legacy?
Leaving them something.
I got it.
Right on.
Yeah.
Right? I have 3 beautiful daughters, 6 granddaughters, and 3 grandsons.
Wonderful. That's wonderful.
I have to leave a legacy. I have to leave them something.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's just it, you know.
Yeah. And so let's talk about what's in the future for you.
Right now is 1, prioritize my mental health.
Let's stay there for a few minutes. So when you recognized that it was time to prioritize your mental health, what did that pathway look like? Did that look like, I'm just going to withdraw in, I'm going to seek a therapist, I'm going to remove certain people from my life? Like, how did you manage that process? Because a lot of people are going to take something away from this and probably going to take some of these useful steps away from this.
Pat, I'm 48 years old. I'm about to be 49 in February. And if I didn't prioritize my mental health now, I'd rather prioritize it now than being 6 feet under carrying the burden of other people's stress.
Yeah.
And so it was a decoding of everything, right? So it was me going to therapy. Shout out to my therapist. I call her all the time. It was me writing more. It was me spending time with myself.
That part.
It was me unattaching myself to certain people. I have to. You can't be accessible to everybody.
That's right.
Right? And
that's dangerous.
And I had to learn the power of saying no.
Right. And not saying no, but not feeling guilty about it.
No, you have to say no. You just can't. You have to balance out your energy. Because I believe my energy is sacred. I know for a fact my energy is sacred. Everybody has sacred energy. And what we exude out to other people, not everybody's deserving of that.
That's correct.
They're not deserving of that energy. And so they're going to take it and take it for their own thing. But if you prioritize your peace, make sure your energy is good, those that receive it and receive it well will know how to handle your energy.
That's right. So also, I think what's important when you talk about that is the importance of identifying a therapist. Was that easy or hard for you?
It was easy for me. I was ready to talk.
Okay. So you didn't show up to the process like resistant or anything like that?
I knew something was wrong.
Okay. Oh.
I knew something was wrong. I was walking around broken. I was eating, doing things I wasn't supposed to be doing to supplement for this and that. And, I knew for a fact something was wrong. I was dealing with grief. I was angry. I had depression. I hate the way I look, stomach out to to the middle of the table, I didn't like any of that stuff.
Yeah.
I struggle with it.
Mm-hmm. And then you identify something is wrong. Let me go get help. Identify, and you said you were ready to talk. So when you showed up, you were just non-resistant, and you got the help. And
100%.
And you moved through it.
100%. And I'm not afraid to say that
I love that though.
But I'm not afraid to say that I use ChatGPT and Claude AI to get out my thoughts. I don't care.
And listen, let me tell you something. There is a large population of people who utilize these AI software tools to bounce logic. So that to me is nothing bad at all.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people use that to bounce logic, to find reason, or to get an objective kind of view on things. So those tools are not necessarily bad at all.
Yeah, no, 100%.
Yeah, but I'm glad that you were able to transform yourself and really take time. But you said something really important, because this is what I believe in too. I believe the ability to be present with yourself, that's bar none.
Mm-hmm.
You know, waking up in the morning, understanding how you feeling, you know, what mood are you in? How are you going to show up? Are you intentional about showing up this way and changing the way that things happen?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, no, that's wonderful. So listen, what's like, where can we find Kevin? How do we get Kevin in the colleges to teach and to do, you know, cohort? We got to move you in this.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. They can reach out to me on Instagram at 100 Suits. It's 100 SUITS. They can call the office 646-618-9797. And more importantly, just send me a prayer.
Yeah,
I can receive that.
Come on, Kevin. You know, one of the things I always tell my husband, I'm like, are you praying for me?
Yeah.
Because I often wonder, who is?
Yeah.
When my mother was alive, I knew I was covered. But I often say, who's praying for you? And that's why I try to keep people covered in prayer, because somebody got to be covering you in prayer. So
yeah.
That's really, really important. So what can we expect for the August 6th? Like, are we coming out dipped and drab? What kind of?
You got to get your Corona Sexy on. Oh, man. Sheesh. We're going to have DJ Goldfingers and special guests come and do an opening. We're super excited about them. We're going to have beautiful cocktails. We have a Black-owned food vendor from the community.
That's wonderful.
We're going to highlight her food. She'll have great food for sale. And it's just the atmosphere. Take it in, right? Just take pictures. Look good. Wear your dresses. Wear your hard bottoms, brothers. You know what I mean? Just come out looking cool. If you need to look up Dwele, look him up. Look at his concerts. Look at the City Winery Vibe, because that's what we're doing in Southeast Queens.
Yeah, we taking over.
We
taking over. And so for the ladies, you know, I'm gonna be in the house, so y'all got some competition.
Yeah, 100%.
I'm just saying, y'all got some competition.
And we have Miss Pat Robinson going to be doing some hosting.
Yeah,
there, so
I'm going to be helping out and making sure that this is a situation that we're going to repeat. But now, as we're rolling this out to the tri-state, currently this is happening in Queens.
Mm-hmm.
I told you before we started this program this morning is that I could see this vision moving around from borough to borough to borough. Kevin Livingston presents.
I receive it.
And so I'm challenging you for the bigger, broader vision on how you move your healing circles around, how you move your curated, grown and sexy concerts around, because other boroughs are not as, and they may get mad, but they're not as united.
They're not queens.
They're not queens, right? And so I think there's an opportunity for you to do that, right? And do you reflect like how many people's lives you impact? Think about that?
No, I don't. Because I just thank God that I wake up every day able to do something again.
Yeah, but do you realize but do you realize what you've been doing for so many years?
It's kind of hard to answer that because I don't really sit down and think. But what's rewarding is those who I've helped years ago still reach out to me to this day just to say thank you.
Yeah. And so you also do social justice work, social advocacy work, right? You want to talk about that?
Yeah, no, we stand on the line of anything that's injustice in our community. Yeah. Never left that fire.
Yeah.
Shout out to my sister Ashley Sharpton for doing what she's doing. Good. But no, we when there was a guy that was raping women, especially on South Road, I never forget that I asked for 50 men to show up.
I remember.
I had 6.
I remember.
And we sat right in the middle of the street,
I remember.
Literally on the ground and blocking traffic just to get attention to get this creep off the streets.
Yeah. I remember
So
that.
yeah, no, I come from that background, but I just firmly believe art saves lives,
Yeah.
and I want to invest into art.
Yeah. Also, I remember, because back in it, so I'm giving the tri-state some context. Back in the day when local businesses, if they did wrong to our community or did stuff, man, they called Kevin. Kevin go out there, boy, he'd have hundreds of people, because that injustice was not tolerated. And so, like, when I think about it, it reminds me of my brother who's no longer here, like this real strong spirit that would stand 10 toes down to make sure you're going to respect our neighborhood because you're taking money out of our neighborhood, and you're going to respect us and treat us right. So those kind of things ring. That's why I said, do you think about all of the things
I haven't sat back and really thought. I'm humbled by those that are taking that mantle, and like Brother James Johnson, thank you for doing what you're doing, and all the electeds for taking the mantle. Shout out to Ty Hankerson. I have to give him a special shout out because he's just on the ground with it.
I promise.
Him, Khalil, I just really appreciate the brothers, and I don't want to get beat up by everybody. So, but I do believe, I do appreciate all of our elected officials.
Yeah.
And I'm just humbled by people who understand that we have to stand up for our community. We do not sit idle, because we have a cherished area that people want.
That's right.
And so if we're not standing for it, it's going to be withdrawn from us. And so I shout out to everybody that's really standing up for it.
Yeah. Okay. So the one thing that you have not covered yet, I have not seen it roll out, is fashion.
Yeah.
I mean, you a hard dresser. You be showing up.
Yeah.
Can we get something? Can we get a little something?
Well, I was in talks with a certain suit line to roll out 100 suit line.
Ooh.
But that's
It's in process.
It's in process. It's stale as hell right now, but I gotta be honest, I won't lie. Shout out to them. But those conversations, so those are things that are on the door that I can pull down.
Right,
but again, I'm just at a space right now. I need peace.
I get it. I completely get it. I also want to give kudos to you, because you are connected to some really big heavy hitters who support you that a lot of people don't know. Mm-hmm. One of them I'm so impressed by, but tell us about who your connection is, Steve.
Oh, Steve Harvey.
And
brother Colin Kaepernick.
Right, and Steve Martin.
Steve Martin has been another connection. Michael Strahan. Yeah, I mean, a list of them who have been really impactful and important into what we do. And I appreciate everybody. I appreciate the people who just give me a tie.
Yeah.
I really just appreciate all of them.
I love it. And so do you see yourself, when you talk about expression and the ability to do poetry, do you see yourself writing a book?
I am going to do a book.
I love that.
I really want to talk about my past. Not like I was incarcerated, anything like that, but I do know that there are some people who are dreamers that will really resonate with my story, especially since when I was kicked out of high school.
Yeah. And then I recall a few years ago, which was so honorable. I attended your father's services.
Thank you.
But then soon after that, there was a street naming.
Yeah.
I want to talk about his impact in the community, because he had a big impact in the community. It's not easy to get street naming, so his impact had to be great. So share with us about that.
Well, as you hear me again, my favorite in this interview is shout out, because I didn't do it myself. Yeah. I have to give light to all these people. So Councilmember Adrian Adams at the time, my father was taken from me, and I say that in my family, and he was such an entrepreneur. He helped young people along New York Boulevard. If you're from Queens, you know New York Boulevard. He had travel agencies. He done thousands of trips, gave back to community. I remember riding my father down South Road, and he saw this lady in the corner. He put her in his car, fed her, got her food, and way before all this stuff was popular, and made sure she had what she needed. My father was an angel. He is an angel. He's with me every day, and I am doing my work through him. And so his street is a sacred ground for me. That's where I go to humble myself. I go and burn my incense, and I become one with him.
I love that, Kevin. Well, I think there's a whole lot of things that we can cover here. I think we can cover a book. I think we talked about a fashion show, 100 Suits, the suit line, right? The live. I give you a lot of work. He said he wanted to get peace, and I'm giving him all of these assignments. So, I'm kind of like the anti against what he's trying to accomplish. But there's so much in this, right? How do you think about our next generation when you look at our next generation in terms of what you see with our young leaders? Do you think that they are prepared? Are we preparing them right? Is there an opportunity?
I'm inspired.
Okay.
There's a lot of people that say otherwise. Mm-hmm. I'm inspired. A lot of young people are showing ingenuity through technology.
Yeah.
A lot of young people are organizing, right? Those are two big components. What my generation can do is put them under their wing.
That's it.
And we need to start that. I'm calling everybody that looks like me, that's my age, 45 and older, take them and put them under your wing.
Right.
Let's stop talking about them.
Right.
Because I'm inspired by the technology aspect. My 11-year-old, oh my God, I never seen a girl so smart on computers.
That's awesome.
But their technology and their organizing, if we can help that.
Yeah. And in the younger generation, especially with the technology, they're good at problem solving, right? They know how to maneuver all of these applications. I have a 15-year-old grandson, maneuver all of these things. So it's really inspiring. So again, give us more information. I can't say that we're selling tickets, but maybe they can come outside and just see the crowds come in with nice clothes. It's happening.
Well, listen, Pat, yes, I'm a fan of the show. And so we can award 2 tickets to you to give to any of your listeners to come to the show. So I can definitely award 2 tickets to you to come out for the show. And I'm just, like I said, I'm very humbled. I really am appreciative for what we're doing through the arts, through poetry, through cure violence and things of that nature.
Yeah. And you even used to do comedy shows. See, you got so much. I remember you did comedy shows. And here's what's great, Tri-State. He does these events and then he'll put them in like in a Black-owned soul food restaurant that has seating. So there's nothing that you want for. Like you come in, you have this live entertainment, you're getting fed well, the vibe is good. It's everything that we're looking for.
Yeah.
And we need places to go.
Yeah. Yeah. 100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. So listen, Kevin, you to me have been over the years like reinventing yourself. And I think that's the most important part too, is like the art of reinvention, because if we stay still, if you stayed in one lane, who knows? Right on. Right. But you've reinvented yourself and you've pulled out of everything, which I do believe intersects arts and culture, the therapy, the healing, all of the things. And you're not shy to talk about your journey.
Not at all.
Not at all. Right. And this is something I've said on many spaces before, but it's important to talk about mental health. When I was 17, I tried to commit suicide. And so that's how I got connected with the American Foundation of Suicide Prevention about a year ago. So at 17, back then when I was younger, there wasn't all of this therapists and stuff like that. I was just dealing. I was dealing with what I had to deal with. And, parents from that day and age, it wasn't the mental health there, So by the grace of God, I got through it. So when we are fast forward 40 years later for me, right, I'm like, we're still talking about mental health. It's more rampant.
Yes.
And there's a lot of people that are in corners and deep, dark places. So your ability to come out and talk to people and tell them like, look, I paid attention to myself. I could tell something was wrong.
Yeah.
That's super honorable.
Thank you.
That's super honorable.
Thank you.
And give a shout out. I don't know if you want to shout out your therapist, but give a shout out to those people or give some advice to those people who don't know how to search for a therapist. Like, how should they prepare their minds or how should they approach that?
Well, listen, I'm going to start with this. A broke vessel can't continue to pour.
Yeah.
And so we have to recognize that when we're empty, we're empty.
Yeah.
Right. Shout out to Alana. Dope. Thank you. My therapist. And that's my advice.
Yeah.
You can't continue to pour if you're empty.
Right.
You just can't.
Right. Showing up for everybody and you're like completely depleted.
You cannot. You keep pouring everybody's energy into you and you're doing this and you're pouring. And then at some point you're going to be empty.
Right. And not happy.
Not happy, frustrated. Your family's going to suffer. Your health is going to suffer. I know because I was one of them.
Yeah. Yeah. And so you do a lot of work year round in every arena. You're consistent with Rikers Island, but you also are really consistent about taking breaks. Right. And I want you to talk about that, taking breaks, taking vacation, taking your daughter out. Like, talk to her about the ability to extract yourself and pull time.
Yeah, no, you don't have to get on a plane to to extract yourself from a community.
Yeah.
There are so many places in New York City that I go to, you wouldn't even think you're in New
Wow.
York City.
Wow.
I'm a nature person. Water, just like art saves lives, water saves lives.
Yeah.
You know, and so I really take that. I burn my incense, I listen to my music, and I come back to myself.
I love that. And so for people who want to support, because I'm sure we're going to, open this up for people who want to donate, whether it be clothes, they want to donate money to some of these programs that you're doing, because the programs is not only the arts and culture Dwelle show, but you do youth programming, right? You're training young people.
We have 23 that we hired through the year-round youth employment. But 23 young people work for us through our year-round youth employment program. So they're located in 17 different businesses, and they're working, and we're paying them.
So, and you run multiple offices.
Yes. Yeah.
You see, so when we talk about that workforce development piece, right? The importance of not just identifying the problem and putting, these feel good things in. We're addressing the economic piece of this.
Yes, ma'am.
Because we have to teach our young people that you do have to work. There has to be discipline. You got to know how to show up. You got to know how to have the professional demeanor. You got to even understand how to ask for money.
Yes, ma'am.
Right? And to negotiate for yourself. And which is it was a little terrifying if you don't have experience.
It's invaluable information.
Right? And you're giving these young people an opportunity to put information on their resume. So kudos to you for
Thank
that.
you. I appreciate it. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Final words for the Tri-State.
No.
No, this is not final words. Hold on, because I beckon Kevin, because Tri-State, I want you to know the power of his poetry.
Oh,
so Kevin Livingston Presents is now going to do a cipher for us.
Oh boy.
Let's go. Let's do it.
I give you something short. I am love. I am a love felt yet lived. I am a soul spoken, reborn before born. I was reincarnated in her speech, a late night to early morning. I am a love language spoken through untouched sentence. I was written because of poetry completed my sentence. I am melancholy tampered with perfection. I am God's reflection. I am gospel without the book. I'm that nerve optic excluded Corinthians at first look. I'm that old Negro to a new nigga stanza. Overstand it takes more than experience in order to grow as a man. I am a Christian wrestling with the subconscious truth. I am Yahshua. I am poetry. I am poetry scripted in pig Latin monologue to my ambition. I am ambitious. I am mahat. I am balanced. I am unbalanced when dealing with pain. I'm the time revealed through the inactions in her action. I am took action. I am happiness to a closed mind. I am a closed mind that's been hurt by time. I'm time conveyed through my poetry. I am.
Come on. I mean, I can't even remember what I'm supposed to say next. Come on. That's what I'm talking about. See, Tri-State, this is what I'm talking about. So there's so many avenues with this guy. But not only that, but like, did you hear the words, right? And so you create these spaces and you're at the top of the level with this.
Oh.
So I can't even imagine the people that are coming to these poetry spaces. They coming to let it off.
Yeah, no, it'd be fire. It'd be fire. And I love it. I love it.
So when is the next poetry? You said in October?
October, we will launch it. We don't have a date in October. It will be in October. You can check out Instagram at 100 Suits.
Okay, so Tri-State, I'm gonna listen. If y'all want this to come to your borough, y'all gotta make some noise. You gotta, figure out something to get to Kevin and say, listen, we want that to happen in Brooklyn, Queens. It's happening in Queens, Brooklyn, Manhattan, Bronx, Jersey. You have to make the noise. But that is absolutely incredible. And the fact that you do that poetry so well, have you ever considered becoming a rapper?
What? Kev G over here. What you talking about?
I mean, I don't know. I think you can bust a rap on the stage. I don't know.
I'll get booed off like there's no.
Oh my gosh. Listen, you've been doing this work for a really long time. I do want to give you space to, leave something for people to think about from a totality standpoint on how they should be addressing themselves, lives, supporting feedback with folks and actions that they can take to make places better.
Prioritize your peace. That's I can't stress that. Prioritize your peace. Make sure that you're a part of the 1% that the 99% talk about.
Yeah.
And those are my words.
Yeah. And so and the other thing I want you to talk about, because we always talk about technology. Instagram is not a real place, but it is a place, right, where we do our business and we show highlights. But for those people who think that they must show up on Instagram all of the time, how important is that?
It's not. You have to come to a place where you can't live vicariously through other people's of what they want you to see.
Right.
Because there's always another side to it.
Right.
And that's what made me dial back a little bit on my social media, because I'm tired of seeing everybody's stories, but then I'm hearing other things.
Right.
Right. I want you to learn the truth. Right. And we should be truthful with ourselves when we deal with our social media.
Yeah. Yeah.
And don't ingest what's on your feed. You know, the violence, the negativity.
Yeah.
Don't ingest, because that subconsciously ingests into your mind. You have to be protective of your peace and what you allow to come in, whether that be visually, audio-wise,
Right.
or whatever the case may be.
I love that. So listen, Tri-State, unfortunately, the tickets are sold out, but I am going to give away 2 tickets. So here's how you're going to get these tickets, right? You're going to follow 100 Suits on Instagram and Miss Pat Rob. And if you ping us and say, I need those tickets, we're going to see you and we're going to get those tickets to you. So listen, the show is airing today on Sunday. This show is airing today on Sunday, but that show is happening just a few days out. So if you want those tickets, make yourself known and available, because I mean, they charging to see Dwelle and people like that in other places, right?
100%.
Right? And so give the list of sponsors again. Let's give them a shout out again.
Shout out to Resorts Row. Thank you for being a presenting sponsor. Thank you, Miss Goddard. I really appreciate you. Shout out to StubHub, Amelia Adams, and team for all you do. And thank you to Raising Cane.
Yeah.
Shout out to Deputy Speaker Natasha Williams, who chairs arts and culture, for allowing me to do this in her district. I'm super excited to partner with her office.
Yeah.
And shout out to Councilmember Ty Hankerson, who is doing amazing work, and we're doing a lot of work with him. And to all of our elected officials.
Right.
You know who you are. I really appreciate all you're doing.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
That's wonderful. And so listen, we're almost at the point where school is going to start. I want you to give a message to young people that are listening on how to prepare themselves for school.
100%. First, one is just recognize your own individuality. Be careful with the people you keep around you, and just know that it's okay to talk. Sometimes you just have to have that outlet, and just know that there are people who are here to listen.
That's wonderful. Well, listen, Kevin, you know that I always tell people that once you're here, you're a part of the family. But we was family before this. It's just nothing that y'all can do about this. Like, we're just here. But I appreciate you being here. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you, Pat. And I'm proud of you, too.
Thank you. I really am so proud of you to watch how you've evolved, all of the lanes that you've carried, and you're expanding them out. You're reinventing yourself.
Thank you.
You've taken time to take care of yourself so that you can show up better, more discerned, more present. So that is to be applauded. Let's talk about who influenced you when you were coming up, and who influences you.
My father.
I love
Henry
that.
Clayton. Just kind of seeing how he moved around in the community, and what he did for just being a black man, an entrepreneur, from starting to be an exterminator with his own exterminating service that never worked because everybody still had roaches. I don't know, but he used to have that thing pumped.
Right.
My mother, when she was always I learned community organizing from my mother.
Wow,
my
that's
mother,
amazing.
She's on the community board, having community meetings and stuff like that. So those are the ones that inspired me. But Brother Malcolm, the teachings of Brother Malcolm X.
Okay. Yeah. What about from a musical standpoint? Hip hop, R&B.
Musical.
I know.
Man,
You got a
music
whole
is a
list.
spirit. Oh man, music is a spirit.
Right.
Erykah Badu, Maxwell, Bilal, the Soul Squadrons, D'Angelo.
Music Soul Child?
What? I'll see him on the 21st.
Oh, okay.
Shout out Anita.
Yeah. So music is an important part of how you move through and kind of recenter yourself.
Yes.
Yeah. For me, music I worked in the music industry, but it was an important part. But it more so is important for me to be connected to the message behind the music, because I'm always finding out where we are. I kind of use it as a barometer to figure out where we are in society. What are the artists talking about?
I mean, I don't really get too much into the newer artists. Some of the newer artists, one is Alex Isley. I'm a huge fan of hers, and she just shot on 2.0.
Oh, wow.
But she speaks about the raw honesty of relationships, which I really, really resonate with. But then when you talk about like the conscious Black Star with
Yeah.
Talib Kweli and Mos Def.
Yeah, yeah.
De La Soul. I'm a huge De La Soul fan.
Wow.
I lost my mind last week at that concert.
But do you think that we have enough grown and sexy R&B, like
Uh,
new music?
I'm gonna say it's not bad.
Okay, it's
I'm
not
gonna
bad?
start with Alex Isley and Sabrina Claudio.
Okay. See, those are new
yeah.
artists that I didn't hear about.
Oh no,
before.
those are sonnets. Those are soul sonnets right there. Alex Isley, Sabrina Claudio. Man, yeah, I'm gonna start with them.
Okay. And listen, you also had while we're here, you also had a sneaker ball.
Yes.
Let's talk about your gala. How am I gonna not talk about the gala? So what year is this approaching now?
This will be year number 7.
Okay.
For the gala.
Yeah.
We're actually gonna move it to 2020. We're in 2026, 2027.
Okay.
And it's a big undertaking.
Okay.
We honor community who helps. Like, you was our honoree last year. We had over 350 people pack
It was
in.
amazing.
Everybody looked beautiful.
Yeah.
But we also want to raise the level, right?
Yeah.
Raise the bar.
Yeah.
We don't want to go to the same places,
Right,
right? Shout
right.
out to the places where we usually do them. I want to do them something else,
Right.
So I want to make sure I'm reinventing the wheel with that we are having experiences that we pay for and deserve. As we know, gala season's coming up.
Yes.
So I'm super excited to attend everybody's gala for free. And I'm joking. Because I can't pay for these damn things. No, but yeah. So.
That's awesome. And I also just want to give like kudos to you. I know you mentioned Serena, but a few months ago, Tri-State, Kevin had invited me out and said, I just want you to come and sit with these women to give them a little inspiration and hope. And we met at a restaurant. And I mean, this circle of women were just honest, like honest spirits that showed up. They didn't have nothing on them. And, when you have environments like that, all of the stuff that I do, right, I put that stuff at the door because I like the ability to go into an honest environment and be with honest people.
Yeah.
Right. And so what makes you do that?
Well, that was we had our gala, which was sold out. And so we were able to sponsor a table for 11 women at a domestic violence shelter to attend. And so we bought all their dresses, all their shoes, got their makeup, and we had dinner with them before, which we invited you to come and speak with them.
Yeah.
That's just, I never had an experience, but in the same breath, it's just good humanity.
There you go.
It's just good humanity.
There you go.
Right? You never know who you're touching, and you never know who remembers you for what you did for them at that moment.
Yeah. So I'm going to charge you to get a shirt that says good humanity.
Yeah, right on.
Right? Kevin Livingston presents good humanity. Don't try to steal it, Tri-State. Put it out there. Listen, it's here. It's copyrighted already. And Tri-State, what stands out to me about this conversation is the range of work. But more than that, the reason behind it. And you heard the reason behind it today. He's found ways to meet people in very different places. Again, we talked about Rikers Island, older adults who needed support, men and women who need a place to talk, poets who need a stage, audiences who need to experience a great music right here in their own community. And again, that's the thread of it all, right? Sometimes people need resources. And you heard him say today that we should be the resources. And so the way that he's building and the way that he's innovating, he is the resource. And I want everybody to show up that way. So listen, I am so excited about this concert coming.
Yes.
Again, we're going to push you to follow 100 Suits and Miss Pat Rob on Instagram. And if you point to us that you have heard and you're looking for those Dwelle tickets, we will make that happen.
Absolutely.
Yeah, wonderful. And you know that you can follow me on Convos on the Block on Instagram, and you have direct access to me at patricia.robinson1 at odyssey.com. Again, that's patricia.robinson1 at odyssey.com. And listen, Tri-State, my show is streaming on all major platforms. So listen, if you happen to miss this on today, or if you just want to hear it and get reinvigorated, you can find this show on all major streaming platforms. But until next week, be well, my friends.